There is no question about it. More and more folks are considering relocating or retiring to the Southeast, and for good reasons. So today I'm going to compare what relocating or retiring to Georgia looks like compared to South Carolina. I've lived in both states for extensive periods of time. Let's look at these key factors: cost of living, housing, property taxes, weather, health care, lifestyle, and retirement. Hi, I'm Sue LeFavi with eXp Realty, and if you have any questions along the way, just call, text, or email me. Okay, first, let's take a look at the main question, the overall cost of living. Looking at the 2024 chart and basing it off of a score of 100 as the national average, Georgia is essentially 2.6% lower in overall cost of living. However, both states are below the national average. Now, just for kicks, here are the top 5 states with the highest cost of living. No surprise, Hawaii is at the top. Now, let's peel back that onion a bit further and look at 2 major costs: housing and healthcare. Housing is less expensive in Georgia by approximately 12.2%. And this was very evident when my husband and I made the move from Georgia to South Carolina. Keep in mind, though, that much of it depends on location. And also, South Carolina has more coastal communities than Georgia. Now, on the healthcare side, South Carolina is lower, approximately 4.6% lower than Georgia. Property taxes. South Carolina is ranked number 5 for the lowest property taxes versus Georgia at number 25, or approximately 4.6% higher than South Carolina. Now, of course, one thing to keep in mind is that the property taxes here are based on primary residence, not investment or secondary homes. To the weather. Here's how we measure it in the South. Both states share subtropical conditions. Ladies, no need for hair straighteners. Spring and autumn tend to be the best seasons to be outdoors, and winters are very comparable as well. The January low is about 39, and you might see a snow flurry once every 5 years. And here's our definition of snow in the South. Now, one thing everybody always asks me, what about the hurricanes? Here are the statistics of all hurricanes between 1851 and 2024. South Carolina comes out the winner, or should I say loser, with approximately 31 hurricanes versus 21 in Georgia. But again, keep in mind that South Carolina has a much larger coastline than Georgia. And for example, looking at a Category 3 hurricane, you can see both South Carolina and Georgia have had only 2. And honestly, my husband and I have lived near the coast of both states for approximately 40 years and have never evacuated, knock on wood. And when we have gotten a hurricane, the major damage is not from flooding, but from the trees coming down. Our gorgeous, majestic oak trees have very shallow root structures and will just topple over, causing a great deal of cleanup. Now let's talk about lifestyle, or maybe I should call it activities between the states. For water-based activities, South Carolina has more opportunities. With nearly 200 miles of coastline and 10 state scenic rivers, there's endless opportunities for fishing, kayaking, hanging out on the beach, and much more. Now, there are opportunities to enjoy water in Georgia, but there are not nearly as many beaches on the Georgia coastline. Perhaps the most popular beach in Georgia is Tybee Island, just east of Savannah, but it is not highly praised. And I definitely agree with that. We used to own a townhouse there and were not impressed with the beach. Another popular beach destination in Georgia is about 90 miles south on Jekyll Island. There are some who don't care for these beaches because they have muddy water due to the sedimentary deposits from large rivers flowing into the ocean. South Carolina has a much more expansive and diverse coastline. In the south end, you've got the pristine white beaches of Hilton Head Island. Just east of Charleston, there's Islands of Palm. Continuing north, Polly's Island, and of course the iconic Myrtle Beach. And if you're not into the beach or water activities, maybe you like to spend time in the mountains. In that case, both states have good options, with the Appalachian Mountains in northeastern Georgia, while in the upstate of South Carolina, you've got the Blue Ridge Mountain foothills. Or perhaps you like life in the big city that has lots of action. If so, then Atlanta, Georgia, or Charleston, South Carolina may be perfect for you. For those of you looking at these two states as possible homes for retirement, you may be wondering which ranks better for a retiree. Well, you'll find it interesting. Bankrate.com, a financial comparison service and trusted authority on personal finance, ranked Georgia number 15 overall for the best state to retire, and South Carolina came in at number 19 in 2023. Now, looking at the 2024 ranking, both Georgia and South Carolina moved up quite a bit. Georgia now at number 3 and South Carolina close behind in the number 4 spot. And out of curiosity, you might be wondering, what are the 10 worst states to retire in 2024? Here they are, and no surprise, California, Washington, D.C., and New York made the list. Now, let's see how Georgia barely tops South Carolina from a financial standpoint. You can see most things are very comparable. Social Security is not taxed in either state, and pensions and 401ks are partially taxable. The differentiator is in retirement income. Georgia is more advantageous and allows you to exclude paying taxes on up to $35,000 of income. Once you're 65, you can exclude up to $65,000. South Carolina only offers an exclusion up to $10,000. So it comes down to, what are you looking for? Both states are very good options for relocation or retirement. What kind of environment are you looking for? What cities or towns fit you best? Or are you interested in something more rural? And if so, the low country or the mountains, lakes or the ocean, fishing, beaches, culture arts, golf, restaurant scene. Again, it all comes down to your personal preference and desires, because if it's South Carolina or Georgia, you can find your dream home. Florida, not anymore for many people. If you come a little further north, you'll find a wonderful quality of life. Again, if I can help you in any way, please reach out anytime. Thanks.